Hey everybody, how you doing? It's your boy Halucha Lucha, aka Matthew J. Brownlee, and we are here to talk about AEW. AEW, AEW. I just watched the show and I wrote a lot of notes, so I will not talk long. We're just gonna get right up into this. So we start off with the 12-man tag. It is Dark Order, which is I think Brody Lee, Colt Cabana, Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, number nine, and somebody else that I don't really remember, number seven. I don't know. Versus FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax. Cash Wheeler, Dax. Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and the tag team champions, who is Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. So the match starts off with Brody Lee comes in and he's battling the Jacksons, who are both doing like most of the tag teams trying to do the tag team stuff on Brody Lee, but Brody Lee's like, no, I'm too big and I'm too strong for all that. Clotheslines him, and he's getting the upper hand. And he tags in nine with one of the masked figures, and there's this nice spot where nine he Irish whips Nick Jackson into the rope and into the turnbuckle, um, and then he does this cool fluid flip. Oh, so what happens? So this is what happened. Um, Nick wants to Nick gets Irish whipped into the turnbuckle, and then runs to the other side of the turnbuckle and he jumps to the top rope, and then Nick follows him while he does it. Does like a springboard, jumps up and hurricanrans him off the top rope. That was pretty dope stuff. There was a triple vertical suplex that was there, which was weird because all the members of the Dark Order that wasn't in it was like yellows, like, "Hey, don't let them do that," and then they did it anyway, which was actually really funny. Um, Colt Cabana breaks up a pin that Kenny Omega was doing, and Kenny Omega didn't be happy, like he wasn't happy about it. So he chases Colt Cabana out the ring, and Colt Cabana runs away, and then Brody Lee's there and he super kicks Kenny dead in the face. It was great. Uh, Dark Order takes advantage. Omega hits. Oh, he hits a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker on one of the Dark Orders, and he tags in Dex. And him and Cash does a nice double team move. They tag Page in, and then it looks like they were trying to go for some a triple figure four leg lock. But when they tried to turn it in, all the three members that were on the floor, Dark Order, gave them a triple face bump, which was cool. And then they Dark Order again takes control, uh, gets a rolled up for a two. Kenny blind tags in. Oh, this is crazy right here. So they're working over Hangman Page, and then when he tries to bring him, Irish whips him to the ropes. Kenny blinds tags himself in, and this is where all four members of the Elite, they go crazy. They start hitting all their moves. So I wrote down, because this is a lot. I gotta read all this because you're not gonna believe this. All right, so Page Irish whips one into the corner. Kenny and the Bucks hit triple side kicks to the face. Back to Page, who clocks him, runs him into Kenny, tosses him back to Page, who hits a release German suplex while Stu was still in the air. In comes Uno, who Kenny pushes into the Bucks, who double drop kicks him into Kenny, who does a German snap suplex. Finally, Nine is on the top rope, jumps, misses, gets dropped by the Bucks, rolled into Matt, who holds him in the air, while Omega and Hangman chop him. I wrote Omega and Kenny in the notes, so I don't know why I did that, but it's Omega and Hangman chops him, gets a kick from Nick, and then a double team Bulldog Nine. Then just because Nick then runs into the ropes, aerial flips into Stu and Uno and lands on his. You had to be there. You had to see it. It was ridiculous. Then after that, they tag in Cash, who him and Dax tag in and they do this double team move, and then somehow Dax like messes up his legs, like he messed up his ankle. Everybody's concerned, like what's going on? And then Cash tags in Kenny, and then while he tags in Kenny, everybody's just like worried about Dax, so everybody like trying to help him, and then Kenny's getting like quadruple teamed by everybody from the Dark Order. Nick Jackson gets back up, he tries to help him or whatever, and then Dax, no Cash and Hangman Page both help um, Dax to the back while the Bucks and Kenny are by themselves. So it's like a 6-on-3 assault. So Dark Order takes control. Matt Jackson's fighting everybody off. Then Page comes back down, tags in. He runs wild on everybody. Uh, he does this like he does this like backflip on everybody in Dark Order except for like um, Brody Lee, who's just staring at him while he's doing it. Hangman Page gets back in the ring, tosses one of the Dark Order jabronis into Brody Lee. He points at Brody Lee and says, I want you. You me right now. So they get in, they start brawling and stuff. And then Dark Order comes in and they run they rope get the ropes and they pull it down so Kenny falls or Kenny so Hangman falls out and then boom suicide dive and then all the rest of the members of Elite come and like they attack everybody and then they beat up on Brody Lee. And then it looks like it's like everybody from the Elite is they're hitting their moves on Brody, and then Hangman Page goes for a buckshot lariat. The rest of the Dark Order is like outside the ring. They pull the Bucks and Kenny out the ring. Hangman misses the buckshot lariat. Brody Lee comes in, boom, big lariat, 1, 2, 3. Dark Order wins. It's over. And then at the end, when the Coke celebrating, he was going like, "Woo, we win!" And he was like running around the ring, and then Kenny was like, "Oh, "Looks hilarious." So very strong opening match. I give it an A minus. It was really good. It was really really long. It was really long. They worked Hangman and Kenny for like a good amount of time. There was a lot of high spots, but all in all, it was crisp. There was really no mistakes, and you can't go wrong. And I want Hangman Page versus Brody Lee 101. Thank you, AEW. And then they show a video package from earlier where Trent and Chuck are riding in Trent's mother's car. But the funny thing about it was, for some reason, Chuck was driving Trent's mom's car. I thought that was kind of Jon Moxley does a promo, talks about when he was younger, how people told him not to do certain things, not to do certain death matches. He was saying that like when he was younger, he always felt like he saw ghosts or whatever like that. So he was saying that he understands um, Darby Allen's coming from. You know that he likes to keep fighting, and even though last time that he almost like broke Darby's neck, he loves like he likes Darby. Darby's like probably his favorite person in AEW. So he really like likes him, but he's saying like, but when you sign that contract, you want to face me 1-on-1 for this AEW championship, and I ain't the one to play with. When this title's on the line, you signed a Death Wish, and he's telling him when Mox himself tells him to stay down, you need to stay down, even though he said that he knows that he's not going to listen to his advice because if Mox was him, he wouldn't listen to it either. I gave this a B plus. Mox is really good. He can talk for days, um, and I feel like this is like when Mox is really motivated about something that he really likes, doing it, and it feels like it seems like that he really really likes Darby Allen. And he really likes to take him under his wing and stuff like that. And promo was good stuff, and he seemed a little fired up than he normally does. So next up is Best Friends versus Arcelo and Ortiz. First thing I wrote is Santana Ortiz should be tag team champions. Then I said nice chain wrestling back and forth. Trent does a nice short Meteora to Ortiz, followed by a cool Northern Light suplex. Trent also gives Santana a tornado DDT while Chuck had Ortiz in the air. He chucks him into Trent, who hits Ortiz with a cutter, which was really really nice. Uh, oh, and then after that they hugged. Good stuff. You always got to get the hug in there. Yeah. They go to commercial. They come back, and Santana Ortiz is in control. They got in control during the commercial break. They're really, really good and should really be tag team champions. Uh, they are working over Trent. Good. They was working over Trent for a long time. So Santana had a really nice Uranagi, something like what it was like a Uranagi, but it was like kind of rock bottom type Uranagi. Only got a one count though. That was crazy. Trent tags in Chuck, who gets the advantage. You know, he starts doing his stuff. He hits a soul food on Ortiz, and this made me laugh because Ortiz sold it like if you ever watch like Hill Stone Cold, like when he was doing it, not Hill Stone Cold, Hill Rock when he was doing his stuff with Stone Cold, they did like a backstage segment where they were just like talking trash. They was talking about the movies, or Stone Cold's. There's this video like if you haven't seen it, go see it. Stone Cold was like talking about his movies and stuff like that. He was like, you're a pretty good actor. He's like, I don't like your movies, whatever. He was like, I want you to have a beer with me, blah blah blah. So they go inside to have a beer, and Rock tries to attack Stone Cold, and then Stone Cold hits him with a stunner. And when he hits him, like he makes this face, like he hits him, he goes up and he goes like this, he's like this, and he does like this pose thing like that, and waits for like his next move. Rock is going, Austin's going like this while he's like hanging and going like that, and then he hits him with another move. It's funny that's what he did. Like he hits him with a soul food, and he just stands up, he goes like this, and then he hits him with a Michinoku driver, which was really funny. Um, Superplex on Ortiz, and then they hit a super duperplex. I think Chuck was doing one part of a superplex, and then Trent did like the other part, and it looks like it hurt Trent a lot, and they shouldn't have done that. Then they single out Trent again. They reverse whip Ortiz. Oh, so there's this spot. Oh, this was so good. Trent was trying to fight them both. He Irish whips Ortiz into the turnbuckle, and then Ortiz or Santana tries to Irish whip Trent, but Trent reverses it into the turnbuckle where Ortiz was. Ortiz hops over Santana. He rolled like Oklahoma rolls him out the corner. Oklahoma rolls him backwards, and in fluid motion, boom! Santana hit Trent with a nice cutter. That was great. Like I said, tag team champions, they should be them. He kicks out at 2. I put why are they not tag team champions? I'm serious. I said then they go for the street sweeper. Chuck pushes Santana off, and Trent rolls up Ortiz for the 1, 2, 3. This was an A minus. This match was really good. I feel bad for Santana Ortiz because they're really good, and like the tag team rosters is so deep. Like just in like that first match alone, you had the tag team champions, you had Young Bucks, you had uh, FTR, literally just those three in one team, and then you had Dark Orders, you had Stu Grayson and Evil Uno, and then you got um, Best Friends, who are clearly top 5, also. So I mean, you have Private Party. I don't know if Les Sex Gods are still a team, but they're probably above Santana Ortiz. So there's just a lot. Oh, they have Jurassic Express, who they treat well. So there's a lot of tag teams that's there, and just unfortunately that's where they are right now at the bottom. But this match was awesome. You should watch it. Uh, Next is MJF's campaign speech. This was stupid in a funny way. He fired somebody for giving him bad gum. Somebody can't put a poster up straight, and the same guy who didn't put the poster up straight, he's picking out like green Skittles. Um, MJF is heading and FJ is heading the championship polls. It was like 100% for MJF to like negative 88% for Jon Moxley. It was hilarious. Um, Also, that the his title match for the World Heavyweight title, MJF says is going to be at All Out, so that's interesting. MJF says that normally people would be like happy and pleasant to like when they're up this far in the polls that they start celebrating, but he's like, no, not me. I don't do that. He's like, this is where I work harder, and he's like, guys know why. And in the most unenthused way, like three whole people said, because we deserve better. He's like, yeah, that's right. We deserve better. And then somebody asked him, hey, what if Darby Allen wins? And MJF goes, yeah, the 120-pound emo kid. Yeah, because it would suck to fight him at for the AEW Championship. So burn. I give this a B minus. MJF, is really good at talking, but compared to what his other stuff is, it was just there. But it was still entertaining because MJF is very entertaining. Next, another segment. Matt Hardy comes with his horrible music. He has the same shirt. I have the same shirt that he has, like the Matt Hardy beats death or something like that. I have that same shirt that he has, and Matt Hardy signed that shirt. One day I'll post a picture of that shirt, but I have it somewhere around here. But he was saying that he basically came to AEW to like put people over and give advice. He said him along with AEW, they listen to the fans and listen to the crowd. And he says that the stronger than death. Oh, that's what it says. Stronger than death. Matt Hardy's back, but he will always help people when they need him, like the Private Party. He said we will help Private Party when they need him. He said he tried to give the advice to Sam Guevara, but nobody listened. He didn't want to listen, so now he's my enemy and I will make your life living hell and all that good stuff. And then you see Sammy Guevara like sneaking under, like he was under the ring, and he like sneaked behind him. He like was behind him, and then Matt Hardy say, "Sammy, I knew you come," and then they start brawling. Matt is bouncing all around the walls, all around on the outside. He starts to set up a table, and then Sammy Guevara throws him like face to post, and then he puts him on the table. He starts to like pound him, but Matt Hardy's fighting him off. And then I don't even like to, I don't even I didn't like this part. Sammy Guevara gets a chair and he throws it straight at his face, and it looks like the end parts of the chair like almost like caught him in his face. It looked really really dangerous. It looked like it hurt, but it looked like he was fine. But they did this weird edit where like you can see like I don't know, but it looked like there was like this weird edit where it seemed like he wasn't really bleeding. He was checking his face, but his face looked fine. But then like when he did like they did like a second edit, and when he was going to the when Sammy was going to the top ramp, it looked like his face was bleeding and stuff like that. And then Sammy Guevara does like a front flip into the table into Matt Hardy, but it was like a front flip headbutt type thing, and yeah, and then he's all busted open and stuff like that. And then after that, they go backstage, and Ortiz and Santana are busting Mama Trent's van up. I feel kind of bad because that poor lady probably spent like her life savings on on that van, and they just tore it up. But it was pretty badass, and I liked all of it. Um, I gave this a B plus for the whole thing for that segment with Matt Hardy plus this or Santana Ortiz car beat down. I gave it all a B plus. I didn't really like the brawl was okay. I didn't really like that chair spot. That chair spot like really looked really really nasty. I'm pretty sure he's fine anyway, but that spot looked nasty. But that beat down of the car is what got it back up. Next up, the Dark Order. I called them the Dark Order Jabronis. Went to face Matt and Cody, but for some reason it sounded like Matt and Cody's music kind of sounded the same. Besides the very beginning, it kind of sounded the same. I called them jabronis, but man, this match was long. Oh my, yo, the Alex and Reynolds, Silver and Reynolds, man, they got it in. They got it in. They have a lot of stuff that it was a lot, like a lot. I'm not gonna really want. I really don't want to talk about all of that because we got like other stuff to talk about. But they was, Cody loves putting over his opponents. That's what he does best. Those two was working his ribs over like there was no tomorrow. Like every double team the ribs, double foot stomp the ribs. Everything was on the ribs, elbows to the ribs, and stuff like that. But it was pretty much a showcase for Matt Cardona, who comes out, um, who runs house. They do this one spot that I do like where I think Cody tried to come in and save, his ribs with her, and he tried to come in and save Matt. He hits like the springboard like cutter on one of the Dark Order members, and he gets thrown out the ring. Cody gets thrown out the ring or whatever, and then Matt does. Okay, I wanna find this part. Okay, this was crazy. Uh, Here it is. So Cody hits a cutter and kick gets thrown out the ring. Silver whips Matt into the corner where Reynolds is. He moves out the way and just kicks Matt straight in the face. Throws him into Silver, who forearms him, gets insecurity by Reynolds into a stunner from Silver, straight into a deadlift suplex by Reynolds, and finishes with a jackknife pin for Silver for two. That spot was really, really good. I liked that sequence was really, really good. But in the end, Cody comes back. He does like this super. He tries to go for a crossroads, but instead he hits like this superplex on one of the Dark Order members. I think it was Silver. Reynolds comes in. He tries to do a Okada roll. Matt holds onto the ropes, hits the Rough Rider, which they're calling the the radio lights out radio, something like that. What was that move called? Uh, radio silence for the three. After the match, Scorpio Sky comes out. He stares down Cody. He said, "Me, you, I want that championship." Good stuff. I give this match a B plus. This was really good, and I mean, it was long. We all knew who was gonna win, but they really gave Reynolds and Silver some good time, which I enjoy. Hey, put them in put them in the title picture too. Put them in there. We like all of that. But that's what Cody does. He likes putting people over. So good match. Um, Best friends are back with the messed up van, and Chuck Taylor was like, "Hey, you made me into a liar to Trent's mom. I said I was going to protect the car, and you guys went and messed it up." Trent said, "Hey, you can do whatever you want. You can beat us up. You can hit us with rocks, but you don't touch my mom's car." Uh, Chuck was like, "Hey, if you wanted to rematch, you wanted us to kick your ass again. Hey, we had no problem doing that. Like all you had to do was ask." And Trent was like, "Hey, next time you do that, we beat you. You're gonna have to apologize to my mom via voicemail," which was hilarious. Uh, Cassidy, this next segment, woo! All right, guys, strap up, guys. This next segment was the debate. So they're doing picture to picture. Sammy does the cue cards, bigging up Chris Jericho, how much of a master debater he is or whatever. Eric Bischoff comes out. He's the special guest moderator, which is cool. He's back on TNT. I knew that was going to happen. I said it last week, but it's still cool. Oh, so question one. So they have 5 questions. Question 1, Eric Bischoff says, why does Jericho and Cassidy hate each other? Jericho says, uh, first, before I start, glad you decided to show up for the occasion. He's like, yeah, you look terrible. And Orange Cassidy just like grabs it like a tie. And he just like clips it on his shirt, which was hilarious. And it popped Eric Bischoff. He got like a good kick out of it. And and Jericho says, see, this is why I hate you, because this is what you stand for. You you take nothing serious. He calls him a ginger jackass who plays pocket pool on a weekly basis. And then they asked about Cassidy. He said no response, and he says he doesn't talk. Second question goes on. He says, who is the better wrestler, Chris Jericho or um, Orange Cassidy? Jericho says, no offense, Eric Bischoff. I like you, but don't be an idiot. It's Chris Jericho, man. Le Champion. Le Demigod. I held 50 titles around the world. He hasn't even been out of the state of Florida. He says the only title he's won was the biggest slacker of the high school year awards. He says if they were back in school, he would chase him down the hall, kick his ass, steal his lunch money, and take his girl. And he says he looks like Jericho said that he himself looks like $1 million, while Cassidy stands there in a filthy denim jacket, smelling like old salami, Gerald Ward, and batteries, which was hilarious. And then again, Cassidy says nothing. Question number 3, it says uh, thoughts on global sea levels rising and increasing. Jericho wants nothing to do with it. He tells him to move on. And then, of course, Orange Cassidy speaks on it. He talks about like there's like a 1.5 billion something. Like I don't know. I was just amazed at what he was talking about. Jericho's face, like he was like going like this. It was hilarious. He was like, "What in the world?" And then and then Eric, I think that pops Eric Bischoff too. It's like, "Whoa, this is alrighty then." It was like we like those around here. And then question 4, why is Orange Cassidy so popular? Jericho says he is the epitome of everything that's wrong with professional wrestling. He said he's lazy and arrogant and entitled like everybody in the crowd and everybody at home. He said he's going to pop him like a pimple, like on his ass, beat him for the second time. And then he said when he does, Cassidy will give him the 7 grand that he owes him. He will quit wrestling and go work at the mall at a guava juice where he'll make his order a blueberry smoothie with extra protein and pumpkin seeds. He says, and guess what? No tip for you. Then he gets a high five from the guard, which was like hilarious. And then again, Cassidy says nothing. Fifth and final question, why is this match so important? Jericho starts to talk. Cassidy cuts him off. Tells him to shut up. He said, shut up. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to do a debate versus a guy who doesn't even talk. He said that was really smart. He said, but guess what? This match is important to me. This match is really, really important to me. He said, this is the biggest match of my life. But he said, it's also the biggest match of your life, Chris Jericho. He said, you're Chris Jericho, man. He said, you've won titles all over the world that we can Google later. But what if you lose to the guy who puts his hands in his pocket? He said, look into his eyes. So look into my eyes. Look into my eyes, Jericho. He says, I'm going to be the man who is going to embarrass you, and I'm going to be the man who is going to beat you. Crowd goes crazy. Bischoff gives the win to Orange Cassidy because of the global warming answer that he gave, which was actually really funny. And Jericho's mad. He said he hasn't liked Bischoff for 22 years. Bischoff said it's been 24 years, and I know how you feel. Feeling was mutual because of WCW stuff. And Jericho says that he's glad that Jericho won because next week he's going to kick the shit out of him. He said, you know what, actually, matter of fact, I think I should kick the shit out of you now. And he says, Jake, go get him. I was like, Jake? I was like, that was Jake the whole time? Called me silly, but I didn't even know that was Jake. I was like, that was Jake? I was like, all right. Jake beats him up, literally beats the shit out of him. I don't know if he beats the shit out of him, but he like slaps him, is like beats him up, pops him, slaps him in the face. And then he puts Orange Cassidy's hands in his own pocket, throws him into Jericho. Boom! Judas elbow. My man dropped like this. He dropped like a sack of potatoes. And then best friends come out to the ring. Jericho hightails it. Jake Hager just takes his sweet time. He just walks out the ring casually like nothing happened. He's like, I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna take my time. So this match is gonna be great, and Orange Cassidy is gonna win next week. It's gonna be great. I gave this an A plus. This was A plus, A plus stuff. This was all good stuff. It was like pretty silly, but Jericho is Jericho. He was killing it the whole time, and then like the two things that Orange Cassidy did, what he did with the when he talked about global warming, which was hilarious. How nobody thought that he was going to do it. He got really serious, and then he got serious about the end. We was talking about, hey, like, yeah, I may be all this, but hey, what if you lose to the guy who puts his hands in his freaking pocket? Like, what are you going to do then? So that was all good stuff. So I gave it a freaking plus. I don't care, A plus. So next up is Tony Schiavone. He was like, I'm here with the beautiful Britt Baker. She liked that. She got a nice kick out of that. He said you said last week that you would give Swole a shot of a match if she faces a wrestler we're choosing. She said, what about it? She was like, yeah, I said it and I chose rightly. And I chose Rebel. Uh, and then they used Rebel like she didn't know how to wrestle, which was horrible, trash, because Rebel's really, really good. Um, Big Swole was number 2 in the rankings. I didn't even know that. But this match, it wasn't even a match. I gave it a C minus. What happens is Rebel goes to the like she gets a little bit of offense in. She like power scoop slams her. She wants to go for the top rope. She's gonna get a top rope moonsault, and then she realized too high for me. Don't want to really do it. So then she goes to the second rope moonsault, skirt, miss out the way. Dirty Dancing 1 2 3 is over. So main event time, but before they do the main event, they announced what's going to happen next week. Cody versus Scorpio Sky for the TNT Championship should be really good. Scorpio Sky deserves all the titles. He should win. He's probably not, but he should win anyway. They might turn him heel next week, low key. Tag team champion turmoil. They might turn him heel next week, low key. Um, Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy, $7,000 obligation match, and then the FTR's Tag Team Appreciation Night. Jurassic Express faces off against the Tag Team Champions Kenny Omega and Hangman Page, and then Young Bucks face against Stu Grayson and Evil Uno of the Dark Order. And then we're going to have special appearances by Tully and Arn, Four Horsemen, and the Rock and Roll Express. So, main event, Moxley versus Darby Allen. Darby comes, he has like this Moxley paper Halloween themed face mask. Mox come out. Darby slaps Mox because Mox ripped his mask thing off his face. Mox just punched him dead in his face. Darby Allen drops to the floor. Mouth is already bleeding. That was hilarious. Mox get a lot of chops in, get a lot of big boy moves in. Darby gets a nice reversal, top rope. He goes on the top rope and he hits like an arm drag, and then goes into a basement drop kick. Mox rolls out of the ring. He's sitting up like this, and then from like the second or like the first rope, he hits a suicide dive onto Mox. They do a little bit of brawling, and then before commercial, Jon Moxley like throws um, Darby Allen off the stage into like the ring post. That was hilarious. They come back from like commercial. They're doing a picture picture. Oh, they do this weird thing from picture in picture where Mox is standing outside the ring next to like Rick Knox, the referee, and Rick is like counting for Darby Allen, who's like outside the ring, but it was really weird because he was only counting him, even though Jon Moxley was also outside the ring. That was really weird. But anyways, um, during the picture in picture, Jon Moxley was working on Darby's legs, hit him with a single leg Boston Crab that went into like a lion tabor, which was cool. And then when he tried to get out of that, he hit him with the STF. Darby gets some offense in. He hits a nice suicide tackle on Mox, and then he followed up with like a nice suicide dive. They're on top of the turnbuckle. His Mox's hands on top of the ring post. Um, Darby like stretches it, and then he stomps on it, and then he hits like a nice slip on him. That was good stuff. Moxley. Uh, so first, Darby Allen tries to hit like this springboard um, death drop, coffin drop. Mox went to catch him, he tried to hit him with a release German suplex. He lands on his feet because Darby Allen's really good. And then Moxley goes for a paradigm shift. Darby Allen targets the hand, basement dropkick to the knees. Code red for a two. Um, goes for he goes to the top, but Jon Moxley hits him with like an avalanche German suplex. That was a nice move. Warlow comes out, does a distraction. MJF comes, hits him with the AEW Championship. Then Darby goes to the top. He sees what happens. He said, "I don't care." Goes to the top, hit a coffin drop. By the way, Moxley's busted open for a 2 count. That was really 2 count. That was like 2.99999. Like that was one of the closest 3 counts I've seen in a long while. Mox is busted. Darby's all over him now. He goes for another coffin drop. Um, Mox reverses it into like a chokehold, like one of the chokehold that Tash threw the towel in for my boy Brian Cage. Um, Darby Allen was trying to fight out. He was like close to tapping, but like he kind of gets the strength. He stands up, trying to get the strength. Mox turns over, hit him with a gotch power driver for a two, which was another really close one. Mox is low key furious. He goes crazy. He goes to the corner, does his little "thank you, I need Jesus" things. Tells him it's over. Elevated paradigm shift. 1, 2, 3. Still AEW World Champion. Jon Moxley, MJF, not happy backstage. I gave this a B plus. I almost gave it an A minus. It was really close. The reason why I didn't is because of the interference. I don't think you needed the interference. I think if you would have just like had their match the way they had it, and like maybe they did like that after that reverse German suplex, like he pins him, he kicks out, then he tries to go for like another coffin. He tries to go for like a paradigm shift, and then like he does like a reverse it, hits like one of the stunner, and then he does like the coffin drop, and they go from there, and then they finished it. That probably would have been like better, but the interference, I didn't really need it. Uh, but that was just me. I don't think he needed it, but it was still a good match. Mox wins. Um, we knew he was gonna win, and then he like coddles Darby Allen to end the show. So it was good stuff. So all in all, I give AEW. I didn't even write down what I gave AEW. I give AEW an A minus. It was really good this week. It was a big step up from last week. I didn't watch NXT yet, so I'll probably watch that tomorrow later maybe. I need sleep. But this is a big step up from last week. Better, longer matches, better matches, nice storylines, and next week we're gonna get some tag team stuff. We're gonna get some title stuff, and it should be great stuff. So, what did you think? How would you rate AEW? Let me know in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. Talk to you next time. I'm out.